Yan mga vlog, sandali lang to, no? Top 10 next option for people with expired or expiring work permits in Canada. This is from Olo, and di ko mabasa but I don't know if you can see that. But anyways, on November 9th lumabas. If you are an international graduate or temporary foreign worker in Canada and your work permit expires soon, especially as an international student graduate and you don't have permanent residence yet, this is for you. So many foreign nationals who have expired or expiring work permits are still transitioning or finding ways to transition to permanent residency in Canada. And with the end of the policy giving them a work permit extension, many are falling out of status without knowing what to do next. If you fall in this category or know someone who is, there are 10 possible options to consider or things to do. Share this with those who need it. Remain on the right side of the law. By all means, ensure that you are not out of valid status. Maintain your status in Canada, even if it means switching to a visitor record. You can apply for a visitor record before work permit expires. Or if your work permit has expired, you have up to 90 days after the expiration to apply for restoration to a visitor record. There's a link to do the restoration process. I'll give you a link in the description so you guys can see that link and explore more about it. Number 2, apply for provincial based work permit extension. Check with your province to see if you are eligible for a work permit extension based on application for provincial nominee programs. Some provinces currently have an agreement with IRCC on this. Example, Manitoba, Alberta, Yukon. And some have a work permit process of work permit support letter for those who have a job offer in their province. Example, Newfoundland and Labrador. Number 3, you may be eligible for a bridging open work permit, BOWP. Depending on the stage of your permanent residence PR process, you may be eligible to apply for a bridging open work permit, BOWP. If you've already applied to one of the eligible PR programs, a bridging open work permit, BOWP, lets you keep working while you wait for the result of your permanent residence application. Number 4, consider other types of work permits. If you have a valid status in Canada, you can consider other types of work permits. Example, a closed work permit if you get a job offer supported by LMIA or other work permits that are LMIA exempt. Example, Francophone Mobility Program. You can read more about some of these types of work permit in the link that I'm going to share in the description, and see a list of jobs that do not need LMIA to apply for a work permit. Consider another temporary resident status. If interested, you can apply. That's number 5, by the way. You can apply for another temporary resident status, for instance. If you are interested in further studies, you can apply for study permit, and that would give you the opportunity to have a student working hours of 20 hours per week when the school is in session, and full-time when the school is in scheduled break. Please note, for a postgraduate work permit holder, if you go back to school for a new program after PGWP, you will not get another PGWP after completing the new program. This is because you're already gotten PGWP before, and it's issued once in a lifetime. Okay, number 6, get relevant work experience outside Canada. Remaining in Canada does not stop you from working for another employer outside Canada. If you get a job outside Canada and you can work remotely even while inside Canada, consider this. The experience will still count as foreign work experience for you and can be used for your permanent residence application. Prioritize job areas like the express entry category based jobs that can be done remotely. Working in these category based areas can increase your chances of getting permanent resident because the cutoff used for the category based draws are comparatively lower. Number 7, spousal sponsorships. If you are the spouse of a Canadian citizen or of permanent resident. If you are the a spouse or common law partner of a Canadian permanent resident or Canadian citizen, they can also sponsor you directly for permanent residence. You don't need a job offer. You don't need work experience. You don't need IELTS, and you don't need a degree assessment for this. Canadian citizens and permanent residents can sponsor their spouses, partners, or dependent children to become permanent residents of Canada. Number 8, additional study for a dependent spouse. If you are in Canada with your spouse or common law partner, or you have a spouse or common law partner who is interested in coming to Canada to study, you can consider the study option for your spouse. Depending on the program of study your spouse is planning to do in Canada, you may be eligible to switch to a spousal open work permit in Canada while your spouse completes the program. You can read more about it in the work permit, spousal open work permit, in the description. So number 9, moving out of Canada to get more work experience. For some applicants, the viable option may be move out of Canada to gather more work experience or to work in priority area and reposition themselves for permanent residence in Canada. If you belong to this category, prioritize working in an in-demand area that will make you a choice candidate for permanent residence program you want. The category-based selection is a good example of this. You can read more about it in the program express entry in the description. Speak to a professional. For individual specific options, speak to a professional. Check for licensed consultants or immigration lawyers in good standing. Reach out to professionals. There may be other options available to you. Seek the right guidance from those who know more and know your options before it's too late. So I hope that you find this thing useful. So yeah, if you know, there are things that you can do to stay in Canada if your work permit is expiring or your study permit is expiring, right? So yeah, kudos to the give credit to the article here. Okay, that's it.